Greetings and salutations, everyone. Hello, I'm Brian Rademacher, coming to you from beautiful Sonoma County in Petaluma. And yes, this is a Christmas scarf. It's December 1st, so 'tis the season. And we're so grateful that you've taken time out of your day to come join both Travel Adventures Unlimited and AmaWaterways for what I think is going to be a wonderful presentation. And it's going to focus on an area that we do quite well. We're obviously a river cruise company, but river cruises that do these terrific, fabulous, every adjective you can come up with, Christmas market cruises. I will be transparent and tell you candidly, I have not done one yet, but we are in for a real treat for many reasons, but a couple of the reasons why is number one, we have Kristin Karst, who is our co-founder, co-owner, executive vice president, every title you can come up with at AmaWaterways, and she's the heart and soul of our company. And she happens
Hello,
to
everyone.
Yes.
Thank you, Brian. Great introduction and great scarf.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I couldn't find my hat. I had a hat, but somewhere the boys must have. My two boys have probably run off with it somewhere. But Kristin is going to be the one that does primarily the presentation today because she comes from that neck of the woods. She comes, and I'll let her tell you. I don't want to steal her thunder. But couple housekeeping items before we get started. One is there is a chat box there for you, which you can type in your questions. And frankly, the best practice is probably to type those in as you think of them, because if you wait, you'll think, oh, what was my question? So go ahead and type those in as you think of them, and then we'll take a look at those a little bit later in the presentation, or I might sneak a peek here and there as well if I'm able to. And then the second thing is, this is cool, we are recording this webinar. So what's nice about that is if you have family or friends or otherwise who you think might be interested in this very topic about Christmas markets on the Rhine and the Danube and other places in Europe, then I'm going to send the webinar link to Travel Adventures Unlimited, and they're going to share that link with you, and you can share that with all of your friends and colleagues, and they can take a look as well. All right, so those are the two housekeeping items for you. So once again, thank you to all of you. Thank you to Travel Adventures Unlimited, and I'm going to jump in right now here. And that suit is somewhere in my closet. I wore that actually back when I last was with Kristin in person back in January of this year on the AMA Magna when we had our international sales and marketing conference on the AMA Magna back in Europe in January. And I'm looking forward to putting that suit on again soon. And as you can see with Kristin, co-founder and executive VP. And I want to say thank you to certainly to my friends at Travel, I should say our friends, because they are certainly that, at Travel Adventures Unlimited, Colleen O'Connell, who is the co-owner at Travel Adventures Unlimited, and of course, for folks, Bill and Val O'Connell, and they are very gracious to have set up actually a series of webinars that we've done, and this is actually the penultimate. This is the last in the series of webinars that we've done, so we've saved the best for last, if you will. And of course, there's the thank you in many, many languages to all of you for joining us. And then before Kristin starts, I'm going to set you up by showing you this nice video. And bear with me, I just got my driver's license here. So here we go. All right.
I always have goosebumps when I see this video, Brian. Yeah.
Me too. Me too. Absolutely. So it is my honor and my privilege to now hand this over to Kristin Karst, who will do the presentation. And thank you so much, Kristin, for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us today and to present this wonderful webinar on the Christmas market. So take it away.
So thank you, Brian, and thank you all who join us today. I mean, I wish I could do this webinar together with you from one of our ships cruising right now, either along the Danube or the Rhine, festively decorated in grand AmaWaterways style. But I'm here in California, where our company is headquartered. I'm in Southern California, you are up north, and that's a wonderful area. And you hear my accent is not Californian. So I was born in Dresden. That's one of the most beautiful cities in Germany, actually part of the former Eastern Germany, before the wall came down in '89. And Dresden is actually has a tradition to have the oldest Christmas market in the world, which dates back more than 400 years. And at the same time, the Christmas market in Dresden was also voted as the #1 most beautiful Christmas market in the world just recently. Now, all these 400 years, we had Christmas markets. And this is now the first year where there are no markets anywhere, just out of precaution. And hopefully, we can all come together next year again, and it will be the biggest celebration on the river. So Dresden is on the Elbe River, but I'm not talking about the Elbe River today. I just wanted to show you my hometown, where I am from, my family. Maybe Brian, you know, I think you have my mom there, and yeah, my mom and my daughter Isabel, who actually lives in Sonoma, so not far away from you. She just got married in Mendocino. Her husband works in the ICU actually at Santa Rosa Hospital. So I know he's going quite through a bit. And on the other side is Marcus, my nephew, who also lives in Germany. And those are always the times we remember the most, right? When we had these magical times together, like here on the Christmas market, sipping a glass of wine, hot mullet wine, which usually you probably know is the red hot mullet wine. That's the traditional one. And I actually have my mug here from the Dresden Christmas market. But the new style is also that you can sip any type of hot mullet wine. This could be white apple wine, peach wine, apricot wine, any type goes. And it is so much fun when you go through the markets in all those cities we are talking about now, that you really enjoy a different flavor, a different taste on every market. So family time, that's what I remember the most when I talk about Christmas, the joys, the romantic, the peace that we all have together, you know, the great memories. And those memories are driving us forward because we all wish we could travel again, and we want to do it as soon as the travel ban is lifted for all of us here in North America. Indeed. So traditionally, we would have all our ships lined up on all the different rivers. They would be now decorated like you see here. You enter, there's a wonderful Christmas tree in our lobby area, but there are so many Christmas trees throughout the ship. We have our crew welcoming you on board, singing you the Christmas carols. Then, of course, we have some trees that are not decorated because we are challenging you to decorate the trees with us. We take you on a pickle hunt. We do so many things. There are the gingerbread houses. We can bake together. There is a scent of fresh baked bread, gingerbread, and the Christmas cake going through the ship. And of course, it's also family time. And I hope many of you will consider coming together with family on one of our cruises in the future, because that was also a year where I personally really haven't had a chance to see my family. Only once. I flew in October back to Germany to spend 2 weeks there before the winter comes. And we had so much to celebrate in this short time. And I think there are so many postponed celebrations, big birthdays, anniversaries, and so on, that we all are waiting for to spend together with our loved ones in the future. So let's go to the next slide.
All right.
And I think we are celebrating on the next one, the culinary traditions. Yes, here we go. So that is, of course, also for me, the time of the year where I really indulge. And because I love the Christmas bread, what you see here in the middle, up in the middle. In fact, I have one here at home. I brought it back from Germany. And every Sunday, we had the first Advent last Sunday, next Sunday, we have the second light, and we eat then this Stollen, the Christmas Stollen, which is part of our tradition. We drink, I mentioned, hot mulled wine with it, and this could have all different spices in it. And you will get from us always the hot mulled wine when you enter the ship, when you come back from your included complimentary shore excursion, and throughout the cruise. There are so many opportunities, but of course you will also visit so many Christmas markets. And when we come together for lunch or in the evening for dinner, we celebrate the traditions, like here, the goose, which is one of our Christmas dishes that Germans usually eat on December 24, 25, or 26, and so much more. Now, if you have enough from the Stollen, the cake, then we can also indulge in the Black Forest cake. And we talk about the Rhine Black Forest, and you see here the oranges and so on. And all of this puts me just back into the magic of Christmas. So let's go to the next.
Good.
And so,
yeah, so I'll jump in real quickly. And so Travel Adventures Unlimited have a special departure next December 15th through the 22nd of 2021, Budapest to Bilshofen, Christmas markets on the Danube. And so this is one of the departures we're talking about today. We have another one as well in 2022, but just wanted to make mention of that. And certainly your favorite travel advisor at Travel Adventures Unlimited can tell you more about it.
And usually the Danube is the river to start river cruising if you never have, because it is the most beautiful combination of the eastern capitals, which is Budapest, the capital of Hungary, which is Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, which is Vienna, the capital of Austria. And with this, I started already. We have so many different countries we are cruising through, from Hungary to Slovakia to Austria. From there, from Linz actually, we give you a choice of shore excursions where we also take you to Český Krumlov, which is part of the Czech Republic. And obviously we are ending in Bilshofen in Germany. So let's get started here. And so we enter the beautiful AmaMagna. Now something about the AmaMagna. AmaMagna was Rudy's dream. Rudy's the president of our company. He's also considered the godfather of river cruising. He was the first president of today, the company that I don't want to mention the name, but everyone knows about. You probably get tons of mail from this company. So he opened it in March 2000. Now, I also joined this company when I came from Germany and Switzerland to California. And in 2002, so just 2 years later, we founded AmaWaterways with the goal to really move the experience to the next level, to really provide you with quality over quantity, boutique style, deluxe river cruising, that the experience and you as people, as family members, really mean the most to create the most unforgettable river cruise experience. Now this ship, the AmaMagna, has a double width to every other river cruise ship. And what does it mean? This is the luxury of space. And in these times, it will become even more important, because you want to have these oversized staterooms. 350 square feet is the average of a stateroom. That's usually the size of a suite on every other river cruise ship. So this would be a cabin category I could really recommend you. They have all balconies, and fresh air also has become so important in today's times. And even it might be a little bit chilly during Christmas time. It's not that cold in Germany, and it's good to have really the door open and to enjoy the fresh air, to step out on the balcony and to enjoy the lights outside when we are passing by the castles, illuminated, the bridges, the vineyards, and so much more. But we also have 4 different restaurants on board the AmaMagna. This is unheard of. No other river cruise ship has it. That means we can really spread everyone out among the different dining places. We have 5 different bars on board, and every restaurant has its own style. From our main restaurant to our chef's table, where we prepare you a fine 15 small courses menu, which of course carries the holiday traditions in December, to our alfresco restaurant and Jimmy's Wine Bar, the very cozy place named after Jimmy Murphy, one of the founders of AmaWaterways. And on board the AmaMagna, which is the only ship with the double whiz. So let's go and get started. And I believe this will be in Budapest. Yeah. So Budapest, capital of Hungary, which has so many wonderful Christmas markets. And these Christmas markets normally open already in the middle of December, because the Hungarians love decoration. They love to show you handicrafts, arts. They have some of the best sausages. Some of them are called deprečina, which I would definitely recommend you when you go on a Christmas market to try. But there are so many wonderful things to take back home, souvenirs. So that's why I always say, take another little suitcase with you, because you will fill it with all the little gifts that you will purchase in all the different countries. So here's Budapest. I always look forward to our walking tour up to the castle, the Fisherman's Bastion, but also to go to the market square. There is so much to do, and we offer you a variety of included excursions, from the city tour by bus to the walking tour. You can take the bike out. There are culinary tours, because that's what AmaWaterways is also very well known for. Small groups, different excursions according to your special interest. We never cancel one tour. We operate even, let's say, a gentle walking tour for one person. So you can trust us, it will be the very best, most festive experience. So let's go to the next slide. Right. So from Hungary, and we do in the evening a little bit of an illumination cruise when we cruise out of Hungary. We now go towards Vienna in Austria. And Vienna, of course, the capital of Austria, has more than 23 different Christmas markets. Now, I'm not sure if you can see them all in the time we are there. It's usually 2 days, 1 night, but we take you to the most romantic Christmas market. That's the one here in front of the Vienna City Hall, where we give you something where you can get a Glühwein mug and your Glühwein to really taste, and you wander around. And of course, it's all connected to the city tour. We do a tour by bus again. You can get out walking. We do a night tour to the Christmas market when everything is so nicely illuminated. And again, this market is very different from the Hungarian and the German Christmas markets. This is actually, and you see, I love the color of red as well. This is one of the mugs that I acquired in Vienna. And what's important, you pay €2.50 or €3 for this mug, but when you bring it back, they give you a refill without the extra charge for the mug. And of course, then it's up to you. If you return it, you get your money back for the mug, or you take it home. I usually take all the mugs home. I pay for it. Again, it's about €3, but our kids, they love it to really drink from the different mugs every night, a different Glühwein, or for the kids, non-alcoholic punch, right? So let's go to the next.
Right.
And from Vienna, we are cruising into, we are still in Austria. We go to Linz. Now, Linz is a fascinating city itself. And you can do your morning city tour with us in Linz. We have an included walking tour, also a bike tour there. We have about 25 bikes on board our ships. And so often in December, you can still bike if it's not snowing, if it's not raining. And so often it's very dry during this time of the year. It's really fine to bike. Just have your gloves and something, a hat maybe would be good, your boots, and it will be perfect. But you can also join our Salzburg tour. It's included, like all these beautiful shore excursions are included in the cruise fare. And Salzburg is such a wonderful city throughout the year, but especially when it comes to Christmas. So you see the market square here. Again, it has its own traditions, its own delights, surprises and delights. I always say it, maybe the almonds, the roasted almonds, or the marzipan, or so many other things you can experience there. And then after a beautiful day in Salzburg, we come back to the ship, ready for our included sip and sail hour, where you get your free cocktails. And then from there, we go and have a festive dinner together. Salzburg was also the city where Mozart was born. We will show you this house, and it is very well connected to the music. And obviously, we have lots of evening entertainment on board our ship. So in this part, of course, it will be kind of sound of music, classical music, entertainment for you in the evening. And let's go to the next slide. And from Austria, we are crossing the border and cruise into Passau, a most beautiful city in Germany. It's actually located on 3 rivers, the Danube, number 1, the River Inn, and the River Ilz. And our ship is usually docked where the rivers are coming together, docked in town, where it's taking you only 5 minutes to walk into the city. So again, we have our included city tour, we have our hiking tours, we have bike tours. Passau is also well known for the biggest organ in Europe. So with a little bit of luck, we will be able to go in and can listen to one of those beautiful organ concerts. They are especially festive during this time of the year. And of course, like you see in this picture, if you have some snow, blue sky, sunshine, maybe just a little bit of ice, you know, when it comes to the banks of the river, where the birds are just walking over the thin ice, it is just absolutely magical and a dream. Again, memories over memories I have. And let's go to the next slide. So from Passau, we go to Vilshofen, our port of disembarkation. By now, you have also passed the Wachau Valley. The Wachau Valley in Austria is one of the most beautiful wine areas. Now, in December, there isn't so much wine there, but we will have enough wine for you on board our ships. And we always offer you for lunch and dinner the finest local wines from the region. So this could be the Grüner Veltliner, that's the white wine from Austria. This could be the Blaufränkischer, that's the red wine from Austria. Brian, by the way, what are you drinking tonight?
I'm drinking a little bit of Chardonnay from Artesa Vineyards over in Napa. I should be sticking with Sonoma, but this happens to be Napa. I get partial to Sonoma since that's where I live. But,
yeah, I believe it is very good. And of course, we are not talking about the wine cruises here today, but we have many wine cruises with wine hosts from Napa and Sonoma. And then we compare the European wines with the wines that the wine host is from, which is also quite fun very educational, and always a great story. But so back to this beautiful picture. So from Wilshofen, where we have our disembarkation, after the 7-night cruise, we also invite you to come on different post-land extensions. Now, one could be Munich and one could be Prague. And on the way to Prague, we stop in Regensburg, an old medieval town. And this is, after Dresden, of course, one of my favorite Christmas markets altogether. So you see here these old buildings, you see this market. It looks really like in a fairy tale. And you can actually, there is an entrance to this market. That's why it's also not crowded. AmaWaterways is paying your entrance, so not so many people are there, and it gives you an overview into so many historic things that happened during the medieval ages in Europe. So I don't want to reveal more. That should be a surprise for you. And should we talk about Prague, one of the most magical cities in Europe altogether. So let's go to the next. And so, yeah, as I mentioned, set to fly only for 7 nights cruising is probably a little bit short, especially now that so many of you have not traveled internationally for so long. I would always recommend you to extend the cruise with a 3-night pre-stay in Budapest. It also helps you to get adjusted to the time, to overcome your jet lag. And Budapest is so beautiful. There is so much to see there. And after the cruise, really you have the choice to either take 2 nights in Munich or 3 nights in Prague, depending where you want to go, what you have seen. Both extensions are truly fascinating, especially during Christmas time. And that's about the Danube in a nutshell, because I know, one of my insider tips before we go to the next river. So yeah, the local vendors usually do not accept credit cards, only for very big purchases. So always carry some cash in the local currency. That means the Hungarian forint, because we still do not have the euro in Hungary. So some forint, and you can exchange in, there are ATMs at the airport when you're arriving, and throughout the city, lots of opportunities to exchange money. In Slovakia, in Austria, in Germany, also in the Czech Republic, you can pay in euro, so they accept this. What to buy? Handicrafts I mentioned, ornaments, the German nutcrackers, probably you have heard about this, the Christmas pyramids, the gingerbread. And if you want to consider traveling with your family, with your children, with your grandchildren, starting from the AmaViola, our ship that we built in 2016, we have all connecting staterooms on board all our ships. And we have some staterooms that can accommodate families of 3, of 4, especially the suites. And if we open the staterooms, let's say one has accommodation for 3 and one for 2, then we can accommodate a family of 5, or 3 and 3 make 6. So we are very flexible the way we can do it and the way you need us to do this for you. So, and yeah, that is of course our Santa in the picture. We have him coming on board one evening. You will maybe have to sit on his lap to get a present, but I'm not telling you if you need to sing a song or whatever. So it's so much fun, again, these celebrations.
All right, and then the departure that I mentioned earlier coming up in 2022, that's right, and the books have been open actually for 2022 for quite some time and are booking quite well. This is on the Ama Siena, which is actually a ship that's going to debut next year in 2021. So she'll be a relatively new vessel when you go on her December 1 through December 8 on Christmas markets on the Rhine from Basel, Switzerland to Amsterdam. And again, your favorite travel advisor at Travel Adventures Unlimited can tell you more about it. And here is the map.
Yeah, so the Rhine River and the Siena, really truly our newest ship that is currently under construction. It is actually almost ready, and we will start as soon as we can start cruising next year. 4 countries again that you are seeing here: Basel in Switzerland, Strasbourg in France, let's say Cologne, Rüdesheim, Heidelberg in Germany, and then we are ending in Amsterdam. That's of course Holland, or you also call it the Netherlands. So let's get started in Basel. Basel is also the city where AmaWaterways has its headquarters for Europe. And it's actually, Basel is the city where 3 countries meet: Switzerland, Germany, and France. And it's an old medieval city center. Our ship is docked about 10 minutes walking from the old market square. So you can walk it all the way. And it has one of the most fascinating and romantic Christmas markets as well. So that's a great start. And of course, if you want to come earlier and again spend a couple of days prior to the start of the cruise, we have our pre-land program in Zurich and Lucerne ready for you. So from Basel, the ship starts cruising, and we are arriving in Strasbourg in France. And many will say, well, Strasbourg is not really in France. It's in the Alsatian region. Now, you probably know about the battle between Germany and France, going back and forth and back and forth. So the river, the Rhine River, the way it flows, on one side is Strasbourg in France, and the other side is Kiel in Germany. And only a bridge is dividing it, and depending where we are docked, in about 15 minutes, we will be right in town. Now, I also have to say, you see here the Christmas market atmosphere in Strasbourg. It is just absolutely wonderful. You know, the stalls, the shops, the restaurants, everything is extremely adorable, and fantastic food, different food, obviously from Germany and Austria and Switzerland. So Strasbourg is very famous for the Alsatian Flammkuchen, we say. It has its own very, very special wines. Some of them are called Gewürztraminer. So more famous for the white wines than for the red wines. But what you probably did not know is that Germany, when we are cruising then to Germany, is one of the countries where a lot of Pinot Noir, or we call it Spätburgunder, is being produced. So, all right, so from Switzerland, we went to France. I did not have time to talk too much about the Black Forest area, but there is one beautiful village where we go in the evening to explore the Christmas markets. And this village is called Gengenbach. And I have another mug here, Glühwein mug with me, and that's actually this house that you see here. That's the city hall again. And in the evening, all the lights go on, and then every window is like an advents calendar, which you can open, and it has a picture behind, and some fairy tale figures dancing. And around 5 or 6 o'clock, there is a choir singing Christmas carols in front of the city hall. And then, of course, you have this beautiful street with all the vendors and the stalls. And it is so, so festive. Really also one of my favorites. Small town, not well known, but so romantic. So, and then from Gengenbach, we go to Heidelberg. Now, Heidelberg is not directly on the Rhine River. Heidelberg is actually on the Neckar River. It's a small river, not so much navigable for the river cruise ships, but it is so famous for the university, for the castle, for actually also the longest shopping street in Europe. So you can do so many wonderful things in Heidelberg. And you see again the Christmas market here with the oversized pyramid. It's just absolutely wonderful to spend a couple of hours in Heidelberg, one of our included shore excursions. And then from here, so we are skipping Rüdesheim right now, and we go to Cologne, because the Cologne Christmas market in front of the cathedral is just also one of the highlights of your trip. But I just said we are skipping Rüdesheim. Rüdesheim is of course included in your cruise. It's a port of call, it's a stop, and it has some of the most medieval, smaller Christmas markets. Yeah, so there's always the choice for you between small, cozy, larger, you know, different things to buy, to shop, to taste, to indulge. But this cathedral that we also take you inside is just such an icon for the city of Cologne. And now from here, the Rhine, we have passed the Rhine Gorge with the hundreds of castles, which we will see, which are illuminated in the evening as well. And from here, we get into Amsterdam. And in Amsterdam, in February, not in February, actually in December going into January, starts also the Festival of Lights, what you see here. So less a Christmas market atmosphere, it is more like a fancy, artsy atmosphere. And of course, you see here the canal boats in front, and a canal boat cruise is also part of our included program, as well as the city tour and so much more. And let's go to the next. And I mentioned already, if you come in earlier to again overcome the jet lag, just adjust a little bit to the time zone, then let's book the 2 nights in Lucerne. Lucerne is considered the most beautiful city in Switzerland, located on Lake Lucerne, which is surrounded by the Alps, the mountains. Spectacular. And we also, of course, have some shore excursions there included and prepared for you. And then we go to Zurich. And Zurich is, I actually lived in Zurich for almost 8 years before I moved to California. There is a street, it's called the Bahnhofstraße, which is one of the most expensive shopping streets in the world, but so wonderful. Doesn't mean you have to shop there necessarily, but do some window shopping. Get some chocolate there, get a hot chocolate there, just indulge in the atmosphere that you have there, see the locals, and then of course, come on the cruise, come to Amsterdam with us, or, and that's a brand new program, spend 3 nights on Lake Como. That's in northern Italy, one of the most beautiful lake districts in the world, especially in winter when the mountains are snow covered. What can I say more? It is just absolutely romantic. And Brian, we live only once, right? We want to see it all. Yes.
That's right, absolutely. We're looking forward to getting back out there. And one thing AmaWaterways does that is so nice is that we're always looking for new, obviously, ports of call on the river. But the other thing we do too, as Kristin mentioned, is we'll often tweak, if you will, itineraries to offer new and different pre and post cruise opportunities. And so the chance to go to Lake Como and stay at the beautiful Hilton Hotel right on Lake Como is one of those things that we've done new for next year. And
yeah,
it's really fantastic.
The top spot in Como, yeah.
Yeah. And more insider tips.
Yeah, so I showed you already the 3 Glühwein mugs that I brought home. I have so many more, but you see here, I mean, all these crafts, candles, Christmas tree decoration. There's of course also the Käthe Wohlfahrt stores. Pack those thick soled shoes. You can, you know, use them here when it's a little bit more chilly, when you're sitting on the fireplace. Scarves, gloves, hats. So much to buy, and your loved ones, your families, your friends, they will ask you, well, that's so special. Where do you have it from? And so not do you bring them something really from a different country, but it almost doesn't cost anything. Everything is really so cheap when you go to Germany and the different countries, and especially around the markets during this time. And you do something good for the local vendors as well. I mean, no Christmas markets this year. They are all suffering and they cannot wait to welcome you back next year. This will be the greatest celebration, as I mentioned, on the rivers, but everywhere where we go. But Christmas is not just celebrated on the Rhine and the Danube. I'm not sure if you knew, but we also have a holiday cruise on the Rhine River starting in 2021. And this is a very exclusive preview to what we are doing, because we have just moved our Ama Christina, our beautiful ship that started in 2017 on the Rhine River. We have moved it now to the Rhine River based on the popular demand, because so many of our guests who have enjoyed this ship want to do just a different itinerary with Ama Christina. But we also have the Amacello there, our smaller ship. And there is good to both, you know, to have a ship with 150 guests or to have a ship with 20 guests less, to have balcony or French balcony cabins. So there is something for everyone. And now let's get started, Brian.
Okay.
We start in Paris or Barcelona. We start actually by coming on board and again, meet first with our crew members who welcome you with open arms, singing the Christmas carols and welcoming you, you know, for this beautiful, another beautiful 7-night cruise. And I don't think you need an icebreaker, right? You come on board and you just feel the genuine spirit and the attentive service of our crew members. And of course, the other guests are all in this festive mood because everyone just wants to have the best time. So let's now start in Lyon in France. Lyon is also considered the gastronomical capital, not just of Europe, of the entire world. Now, some will maybe say there is so many great delicacies in so many different parts of the world, and you are right. But Lyon is definitely one of the cities where we will provide for, or prepare for you really a feast for the senses. And I will not say more. So let's go to the next. So you also have, when you explore the different ports, the cities, the villages, everything in this beautiful part of France, you will explore the Christmas atmosphere. And there are so many crash displays, different types in all the different ports and places. So it's actually quite stunning to go back to the history and see the locals and the beautiful decoration there. So let's go to the next. And that's the same with the culinary. So we don't have the Christmas markets in France like we have in Germany or Austria or Hungary or the Czech Republic, but there will be stalls and the locals will prepare their local delights for you. Of course, number one is always the sausages, but so many more different things that you can indulge in and eat. And of course, we also have it on board for you. So Avignon, one of the most stunning cities and also very famous for the bridge that actually ends halfway to the river. So here I have to be careful not to indulge in too much hot mullet wine or wine in general. And then you might miss actually where the bridge finishes. And the Rhone in winter is a little bit chilly to be really nice for you. But it is wonderful. We show you everything there. We go into the city. It's the Papal Palace behind the walls here in Avignon. This is also part of the Châteauneuf de Pape wine area. The Rhone River actually features Châteauneuf de Pape, the Burgundy wine region, the Côte de Rhône wine region, and the Beaujolais wine region. So lots of different wines to taste, which of course is all included for you during the lunches and the dinners. And from here, let's go to the next, Brian. Yeah, so again, talking about the culinary delights, the almonds, the raisins, the different types of nuts, the dried apricots, the plums, the figs. You know, there is so much to celebrate, to indulge, to taste. And I always say, if you don't taste it all, you do not get to know about the different parts of a country, because it is, you know, meeting the locals, tasting their food, speaking a little bit of the language, and everyone can say bonjour or merci beaucoup. The locals will appreciate this so much, and they will invite you to really, you know, they will share their stories with you. And this is all part of the experience. So let's go to the next. And of course, Paris, the capital of France, is part of it as our pre or post Lent arrangement. Paris, by the way, is so much in demand again, especially for families. And so is, of course, Barcelona. And again, maybe not the same Christmas markets that you find, but everything is illuminated. The cities, so many Christmas trees, the ornaments, it's just a wonderful time. And Barcelona, probably during this time of the year, can be still quite warm because it is, you know, at the Mediterranean Sea, one of the warmest areas in Europe in December, so quite spectacular. But we are not stopping cruising after Christmas. We also cruise through New Year's. And those New Year's cruises are in high demand. So I encourage you, consider to ring in the new year with us. It has a great value. And not just do you get like Christmas Eve, we have a gala dinner prepared for you, the same on New Year's Eve. You would probably spend a lot of money outside in a local restaurant for this type of gala dinner and celebration and champagne and everything what we have ready for you. That we do on board, dancing, you know, until the last one goes to bed. And this might be in the morning on January the 1st. And so often our ships are docked in town. We are watching the fireworks, more firework in Germany and Austria, I would say, than in France. But this is just a tradition. And again, the ship is the best place to be, because if it is chilly, you go quickly out to the sun deck, watch the fireworks, go back inside the ship to, you know, the lounge area or the restaurant and enjoy the party, while the locals are all outside watching it and sometimes freezing if the temperatures are lower.
All right.
And the story continues, obviously. Brian, I know we have so much here prepared when it comes to special savings for you, our clients. So please take it from here and make it really even more attractive.
All right, will do. So Kristin has just presented all the incredible things that you're going to see along the way. And so to make it even more enticing, we have what's called our triple savings offer that's actually good through the end of this month. And what it offers is additional savings of up to $1,000 per person on those balcony accommodations, which quite frankly, the twin balcony accommodations are very much the ones that people most are tuned into and most desire. And so they sell the quickest, and we have lots of them for you, certainly on the Rhine and the Danube. And then it's also an upgrade as well, plus shipboard credit. And we don't want to forget about our solo travelers. We have a special 25% solo traveler offer. So not 50%, not 75, not double, but only 25% solo traveler offer. And there are certainly a wide variety of departure dates, but then also these two departure dates that we talked about, I say TAU, meaning Travel Adventures Unlimited, those two departure dates also have special offers that are in place through the end of this month, right? Now, if in terms of attending the webinar as a webinar attendee offer, we're also going to offer you, for attending, $100 per person savings. And again, this is booking by the end of this month. And that's doesn't have to be at Christmas markets. It can be any cruise in 21 or in 2022, right? And a booking, quite frankly, entails a $400 deposit per person, and then final payment is at 90 days prior. So this triple savings offer is quite good, quite compelling, and I wanted to have you be aware of it because, again, learning all about this from Kristin and then finding that there are wonderful opportunities to make a booking on these departures for next year or into 2022 was something certainly to be aware of. Now, we also have a fly free program that's always popular as well. And these are either for two of you or your companion, or there's a possibility to upgrade to business class as well. And again, your travel advisors at Travel Adventures Unlimited can tell you more about it. This too has a book by December 31 opportunity. So the key message is here, you have the next 30 some odd days to make a decision as it relates to these various offers that we have in place. Now, we've also found that Kristin has told us, based on her knowledge, certainly, right, Kristin, that people are wanting to go for longer, aren't they?
Absolutely, because they haven't been traveling for so long. And everyone, when you fly internationally, you fly a long way. It's about from the West Coast to Germany, let's say it's 15 hours. And when you fly this time, you want to really take away a lot and not just 1 week. So that's why the back-to-back cruises are becoming more and more popular. And let me also say something about those solo travelers. We have about 10 to 20% solo travelers on board. A river cruise as AmaWaterways is a very safe way. It's a wonderful family around yourself. The first night, we invite our solo travelers to a captain's or officer's table, have a special solo traveler reception so that you get to know the other solo travelers on board and break the ice immediately. So you don't have to feel alone. You will never be alone. You will be integrated into our AmaWaterways family immediately, and you will have a most wonderful, wonderful time.
Thank you for saying that. So here's the deal. The savings then for doing longer cruises and combining back to back, it's an additional 10%. Since we're seeing a lot of interest in people, as Kristin said, doing longer cruises, we thought we'd make it even more enticing for you to think about going for a longer period of time. And again, available here through the end of December, right? Let's continue on. And then Travel Adventures Unlimited are part of a very prestigious consortium, if you will, of agencies that are part of a network called Signature Travel Network. And what's nice about this is that they have exclusive benefits as it relates to a whole bunch of different departures throughout 2021, where you can receive additional shipboard credit, spending money, if you will. Plus, they have other departures that are actually hosted as well. And so Signature Travel and Travel Adventures Unlimited, this is another really nice feature that can be offered to you. And as we kind of come towards the end here, we wanted to have you raise your glass, and I'll let Kristin do the toast, and I have a little bit of wine left, so hopefully you're all raising.
You have a little bit of wine. I have the choice between my mineral water because, it's still not 5 here and I still have to work a little bit, but let's say it like this. Yeah, I pretend it's champagne inside now here, right? So may love and laughter light your days and warm your heart and home. May good and faithful friends be yours wherever you may roam. May peace and plenty bless your world with joy that long endures. May all life's passing seasons bring the best to you and yours. And I want to really raise the glass to your health. Yes. Stay safe, really stay healthy, so that we all can experience together so many more river cruises together in the near future. We so appreciate that you took the time to join us for our webinar and to learn about the traditional highlights of the holiday cruises and Christmas. And I know it's not over yet. In these countries that are just so near and dear to my heart, my personal heritage. Would love to introduce all these countries personally to you. I know many of us, Brian, Rudy, myself, will be on Christmas cruises next year, and maybe with a little bit of luck, we can be on yours as well. So again, to you and to a bright future.
Indeed. Well said. Very well said. Thank you, Kristin. So here is the contact information, because I know you're all chomping at the bit now to get in touch with your favorite travel advisor at Travel Adventures Unlimited. There's the phone number, and you can actually do a screen print, control print screen if you'd like, of this particular page, but it's 925-935-7447. That's 925-935-7447, or info, I-N-F-O, at Travel TAU, which of course Travel Adventures Unlimited, so info@traveltau.com. And that's how you can be in touch with them, and they'll be eager to chat with you. And so now what I'll do, and of course the word ama, you might wonder, where does that come from? It comes from the Latin word amare, meaning to love, right? And so everything we do emanates from a sense of love, all right? In terms of, we love our guests, we love our folks that work for us, we love what we do. I always like to say that Rudy and Kristin and Gary have just an absolute passion, which relates to that whole love theme again, about, which I'm sure you could sense from Kristin tonight in our presentation, just the passion that she has for what she does. And so ama indeed means love. So let me open up and see. Oh gosh, we do have some questions. Let's see. So I have a note here. Lyon, just fantastic. Food is amazing. I was on ama last fall to Provence, right? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Actually, that area is called the gastronomic valley of France, and Lyon is, like Kristin said, the absolute gastronomic capital of the world. Catherine Rhine says, I had a group of 44 on this wonderful Lyon to Arles trip. Okay, all right, Catherine. So thank you for that. We're looking forward to welcoming you back. Let's see, in the past, I heard the Christmas markets start to close by December 20th. Is that true still? I don't want to send my clients too late and then have them miss the market. So that is a good question. And yes, I'll let Kristin address that.
Now, December 20 is too early. Some of them, especially in Germany, they close on December 23 and December 24 when we have our traditional Christmas Eve. Now, you go from December 15 to 22, right? So you are right in the Christmas, in the peak time of the Christmas markets. You will not miss any Christmas market at all. Now, Prague is open until New Year's Eve. So if you decide to go afterwards to Prague, you will have Prague in full color. Munich will close on December 24. So that means December 22 disembarkation. If you go to Munich, you finish there on December 24. So you will see all the Christmas markets.
Good deal, good deal. All right, then those are the comments and questions for the moment. And as I said earlier, I am going to send a video recording of this to Travel Adventures Unlimited, and I would encourage you to, especially now that you've seen what all was included and how wonderful this experience really is, to share it with your friends and family and others. So I will say once again, thank you certainly to the folks at Travel Adventures Unlimited. And this is something to think about as well. What is the ultimate stocking stuffer this year, right? Would you say, Kristin, to have that stocking stuffed with, what a surprise that would be to say, you know what, we're all kind of hunkered down in our homes this Christmas, but guess what we're doing next Christmas?
Share the gift of travel, right? I mean, yes. We don't want anything else than to come together again, have these experiences. We have done enough shopping, grocery shopping, cooking, cleaning the dishes, breakfast, lunches, dinners, all of this, all the time. Let us take care of it during the most festive time of the year, and let us treat you, spoil you, pamper you, so that you can have the most amazing celebration together as a family or as a couple, as a solo traveler, it doesn't matter. You will have the best time of your life. And I think you have earned it. You deserve it. And so do we, right?
Yes, thank you, Kristin. All right, so that is a wonderful note, a high note to end this presentation. And again, I'll say thank you to all of you for attending. Thank you, Kristin, very much indeed. And so I wish, like Kristin said, I wish all of you good health, and let's look forward to getting back out there. And as Kristin will tell you, that even when you book something and get something on the calendar, the level of good feeling that brings around is quite remarkable, almost as good as when you actually do the trip, when you put it on the calendar. So we're looking forward to you putting some things on the calendar and welcoming you all on board. All right, so thank you so much, and we'll say Auf Wiedersehen. How do you say Merry Christmas in German, Kristin?
Fröhliche Weihnachten. Fröhliche Weihnachten. Auf Wiedersehen. Vielen Dank to our friends. You know, we couldn't be without our travel advisors. I really have to say, they are your friends. They are they walk with you through the jungle of everything what's going on right now. They have the toughest job. They are our heroes. And with so many things changing day by day by day, so you are really, it's the best to be in the hands of your trusted travel advisor more than ever. So thank you so much for having this presentation together with us today.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.